Good morning. Coming at you live from beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina, where the weather is finally good.
It's unseasonably warm.
It's unseasonably warm. And I love that. Chaz says it has been good. I love that for us.
I especially love that for Chaz.
I really do love that for Chaz.
He says this is overly humid. It is quite humid for being January.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, the humidity was a bit of a problem yesterday.
Yeah. I went for a 15-mile bike ride, and I just got out, and I was like, wow, is it humid? Warm? What?
Is that the longest bike ride you've ever done?
Yes.
He says, it's raining. This is not good weather at all. But it's warm. It's warm. Also, it's raining.
It looked kind of drizzly.
I don't know that it's raining here. There's some chance of rain.
Chaz says it's too warm.
Well...
Guess we're moving to Coos Bay.
Oh, please, God, no. Warm is not good, my man. That is a subjective statement. That is a very subjective statement. We were talking, actually, so yesterday I went on a walk with Haley, Tom, and Dan. And it was nice walking weather. Mm-hmm. But about halfway through the walk, we walked for like almost an hour. About halfway through the walk, we were like, interesting.
It's warm.
It's maybe a little warm. A little more humid than we thought. By the time we got done with the walk, like I had 2 shirts on, and I took off the other shirt because I was like, it's not cold. I'm actually due a sweat. Oh no. But Haley was saying, she's like, it has gotten to me. She said, because it used to be that, like, I didn't want the temperature to be higher than 50. She's like, then I didn't want the temperature to be higher than 55. And she's like, now I'm up to, like, 60. She's like, if it's 60 or higher, she's like, that's bad. And I'm like, yeah, it does get to you. Because you did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm at, like, 70, though.
Yeah.
It was about 5 degrees too warm on my bike ride yesterday.
Well, the thing is...
And at least it wasn't sunny.
If you are doing an exercise...
Yeah.
Haley says, no, I stopped at 55. Okay.
Coffee.
If you're doing an exercise, you do want it cooler. Like, if I'm just, like, outside chilling, 70's fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm outside, like, moving around...
Yeah.
Then I can take it 50, depending on if I'm, like, actually, like, moving around a lot. So, because me and you went on a walk the other day, and it was 45, and I was like, that's going to be so cold. And actually, it was fine. Hi, Subby. Let me read some of these alerts. We got 44 months at Tier 3 from Arpega. Arpega, thank you. We also got 37 months from PK Daisy, 38 from Nomi Bookworm, 1984, 43 months from Elfie Goldfish, 4 months from Pizza Party, 397 bits from Radio Dread says, clowning around at the speed of sound. We need like a Sonic the Hedgehog clown. But I don't know what that would sound like.
Oh, you have to come up with it.
Honk honk chili dog! That's Sonic the Hedgehog. Because he's like, he eats a chili dog. Oh, I guess he also gotta go fast, is it? Yeah. Sorry, the first thing I think of when I think of Sonic is chili dogs. Haley says, stop. Incorrect. I will not do that. 65 months from Spiffla, 51 from NG Bin. 300 bits of Genesis. It says, I wonder just how many clowns there are. Well...
Only one person can know that answer. It's neither of us.
We're adding them all the time. We're adding them all the time. One got added on Tuesday when Tom was here. Chaz is currently 37. Big thanks to Chaz for getting that added so quickly, but also shout out to Vagabond. So many of the alerts that get added in the middle of stream are thanks to Vagabond, because Vagabond cuts them out and gives the file to Chaz. So it's kind of a team effort there. Thomas's hedgehog backwards is just dog backwards. No? But you can't spell hedgehog without dog. Did you ever think about that? Really makes you think, doesn't it?
I wish I never had thought about that.
Really makes you think.
A lot of mysteries out there.
Thomas, maybe close your eyes for just like a few minutes. The dog gives you comfort while you're trying to spell. He's a good boy. We got 62 months from Incar995. 300 bits from Satsy says, hi, technically, I'm not here. I should be leaving to get to my hotel to attend my neurology appointment tomorrow, because there was no way I would get there for tomorrow morning otherwise. But, what if there's more Tom? Clown. There is not more Tom. Tom isn't staying here.
No.
Tom is not staying here. Tom is staying with the guys. And Tom already scared the bejesus out of me one time this week.
He is not in the house.
Fool me once, shame on me. Is that how? Yes. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, I'm boarding up the doors. Keeping a close eye on you to make sure that you don't let anyone into the home who can do me a fright. Haley, please. Anyway, Satsy, I hope that your neurology appointment tomorrow goes well. I've been in the same situation before where, like, we have to go to the doctor, but the doctor's far away, and it doesn't make sense to, like, go the same day because it's too much. And we have to, like, go somewhere, and then...
Here's our breakfast stream visitor.
I almost thought you said, here's our breakfast, and I was like, it's about to be a weird stream. Hi, buddy.
This morning I found him in our closet lying on a plastic bag.
He loves that. It's a special bed.
A crinkly bed.
It's a special crinkly bed. Can you imagine for a moment that like a human mattress is just completely full of like plastic bags, so it just crinkles anytime you barely move, and how awful that would be? And now imagine a cat just loving that and falling right asleep. Like that's...
This morning.
That's a normal bed. That's not a... What? No! That's not a... If your bed, when you move at all, makes the sound of plastic, someone sold you a bad mattress and you need to return it. Does your bed not creak when you move?
That's not the same noise.
That's not the same noise as plastic. Like if you take... like if you go to the Walmart and they give you a plastic bag and you do a crunch... Like, that's a very different noise than a bed creaking. Right?
Sorry, buddy.
I do not personally plastic wrap my bed. I do have one of the... What do they call it when you put... Is the thing you put around the mattress?
Yeah, there's a mattress protector, but it's not a crinkly one.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're crinkly.
Also, those are under the sheets. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know ours are, but, like, no one would put that... Well, you wouldn't put sheets under that, because that'd be insane, I guess. Yeah. We have had a crinkly mattress protector, but it would still be under the sheets. It'd be like... That's like noise suppression.
This morning, I got out of bed, and I knew he had been drinking out of the sink, because I touched the top of his head, and it was just soaked.
Yeah, it's because I always...
you shoved your head under the faucet.
I always get up before you, and I go in there, and of course the boy's like...
Drink.
Please.
Give me a drink.
You know, and I'm like, okay. So then he jump up there, and I give him a little drink, and he's not...
He's not the most graceful cat.
No, so it's just kind of like running down.
Yeah, he's kind of clumsy and loud.
I knew he had been drinking. Kept his drinking problem. Morning, Brandon.
Morning, Brandon.
Morning, or...
Morning, everyone.
Whatever time it is. Whew. That's a lot. Thomas says, when I was an RA, I had a resident who didn't use anything other than a top sheet. Just mattress, person, top sheet. That's the world's worst sandwich. I mean, I guess that's fine. Like, live your life however you want. That's fine. But it does seem like if you do that, eventually,
yeah,
your, like, body liquids... Thomas says, no, it wasn't fine. Like, if you do that long enough, your body liquids are going to leak into a mattress.
Wasn't your college mattress, like, basically, like, covered in vinyl?
Maybe.
Mine was vinyl.
Body liquids.
Oh, happy cats.
Like, I mean, I guess I could just say sweat or oils, yeah. What if you said sweat instead? Your oils. When your oils come out, it's gonna like you're not gonna be able to clean that mattress. How does one clean a mattress? I don't know. You can't take it to a dry cleaner, can you? No.
Steam cleaner.
Oh, I guess you have to steam
like a
clean
carpet
it.
cleaner. Mm-hmm.
That's just a lot. That seems like a lot more expensive than just putting like a sheet on it. Like that person that Thomas was the RA of. It sounds like he just needed one extra sheet. Like, he was so close to getting the formula right. He had mattress, person, sheet, and that's very close, but he needed mattress, sheet, person, sheet. So... Anyway, where was I? 58 months from Wildfire972. We got 24 months from Verde Mama. Congrats on the 2. Thomas says Adam was something else. Oh. 300 bits from Ketswaki Randy. It says, I would like a clown gotcha pull. The gotcha grows bigger.
Yep.
We got 37 clowns in there. 14 months from Skyward Squiddle. We got 12 months from PF Dog. Congrats on the one. What else? 44 months from Swishy Head. 300 bits and Fries Pikachu says, so who's going to break in and gate crash the stream today then? I don't think anyone. Yesterday, Jepson was like, can I join you for breakfast stream tomorrow? And I was like, sure. And he's like, okay. And then like 8:55 rolled around and I'm like...
He's not going.
I'm like, that boy is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That boy definitely asleep.
Yep.
So, that does mean, I bet, that Jepson will probably join us, like, in the near future. Next week or something. Jepson's probably not crashing the stream. When Jepson talks about his sleep schedule, it is often concerning to me. But the problem is I see so much of myself in him because, like...
That's how you were?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is I was like that much closer to, like, my mid-20s. And he's 30 now. And I'm like,
Can you hand me my coffee?
Like, I couldn't do that when I was 30. There you go. Please help the boy. He needs to learn from your past mistake. I mean, to an extent, you know, people have to, like, experience life on their own. They have to mess up their sleep schedules enough and have it be a problem for them.
Yeah. For
them to want to, like, change that. And for some people, maybe they don't. Maybe they're like, nah, this is fine. And if it's fine, it's fine. But for me, like, my life improved dramatically when I wasn't staying up until, like, 5 a.m. all the time to do work.
Yeah.
And it did. It took me a long time to fix mine. Like, a decade. Yeah, Reload says, the amount of streamers I watch with normal schedules is on one hand. Well, and the reason that is because so much of the appeal of doing streaming, YouTube, online content, or whatever, is the fact that you can make your own schedule. So the people that end up getting into that sometimes are drawn to that, or it's easier for them to do. But I gotta tell you, I do feel really good when I wake up in the mornings. I feel much better. Like, breakfast stream sometimes is a little difficult if I went to bed just a little late the night before, but like, man, prefer it. Look, they're just appealing to the Australian and Japanese audience. It's fine. I mean, the thing is, like, all my friends who do this, all my friends that stream, a lot of them stream in the evenings, like, that's when there are more people generally.
Yeah.
So it works out for them. And in that respect, it's fine. But I like waking up in the day. I like doing the afternoon streams. When we stream Moon at 1 p.m. and then we're done, I'm like, this is nice. This is good. Morning, Chelsea. We got 63 months from Dark Overlord, 4 months from Aqua Ortis, 300 bits from Bun the Bunny Lord. It says, I've been watching you guys for over half my life. I'm finally getting my own apartment. I signed the paperwork on the 8th. Thank you for everything. You both have gotten me through so much and mean so much to me. You guys deserve to know you make a difference. And any tips on moving out on your own are appreciated. Well, first off, thank you. Appreciate the kind words.
That's really exciting, though.
And it is exciting. I know that we talk a lot about how moving sucks, and it does.
Yeah.
However, the first time you move is exciting. Like, getting your own place is, like, a very exciting thing. Tips on moving out. And, of course, we'll always take tips on moving out from, like, chat also. Tips on moving out.
Probably best to come up with systems for things if you've never lived on your own.
I'm trying to think of like
how you're gonna where you're gonna keep the mail and paying bills and.
My first thought whenever I hear moving is like, I'll tell you how to move, but you don't need to know how to move. You need to know the things that you need to know, like being on your own.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Vagabond says buy toiletries immediately, and Renee says buy a plunger.
Buy a plunger. Yeah.
Like the stuff,
that's very good.
There's a lot you don't think about when you're first moving into a place of what you need.
Yeah.
To get through like the first week. And so it's a lot of like, oh shoot, I need a shower curtain. And you go to shower curtain, you're like, oh shoot, I need the rings to hold the shower curtain.
Yeah. There's expense.
Yeah.
Up front, right? Because you're going to need, I mean, depending on the apartment, it may need to be furnished, and like that can happen slowly over time, but you probably need at least some things if you don't have some things. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of like little things. Plunger is like very good. GA Studio says the plunger was my mistake. That is something you should buy immediately. You do not want to need one but not have one. Yes, that's really good. Chelsea said I had questionable priorities. The first thing I got was a cat. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Someone said salt and pepper.
Someone said a fire extinguisher.
Camp kitchen. Pack up a box that's just things you need for kitchen. A fire extinguisher is very, very good.
You need to know how to use it because it's not what they show in the movies.
Oh.
You shoot at the base of the fire, not the flames, because those are the up in the air part. That's not the thing on fire.
The other thing that I would seriously recommend, this goes for everyone, but like it depends where you live. If you live like in the South and you have more bugs, something to consider is an electric racket. Because we have an electric racket. We've had one for a long time. It is my preferred way of dealing with a creepy crawly that I don't want in my home. So highly, highly recommended to have one of those. Especially because if you have a bug show up, you have to have a plan to deal with it. I mean, some people are just like, I have a shoe. And I'm like, okay. If you want to make a mess, I don't want to have to clean up. I just want to go zap. Fire Goddess says, doesn't Kepi eat them for you?
Kepler only really likes flying bugs. And cockroaches, they can fly, but they don't really. Not that we get a lot of them. Rarely. He really likes those really big mosquito hawk crane flies that look like giant mosquitoes. He likes those. Those are his favorite.
Lunar Pearl says, I have a cup and a back door. The cup can work. Oh, that's good, Haley. If your place has air filters, replace them. It's true. You're supposed to replace them every
3 months.
3 months. So tell your cellular smart device to remind you every 3 months to replace air filters, and then you can stay up on it. It really will make it will make a difference. And it's one of those, air filters are a weird thing because it's one of those things that you will literally never think of. Gradually, your life will get worse and you won't know why. And then one day you'll look at your air filters and they will be completely black. Thomas says, why would you call me out about air filters like that?
Thomas, change them today.
This is for everyone. If someone's watching right now and the air filter talk is a little triggering because you're like, oh God, when did I last do that? It's today. It's today.
You're doing it today.
Make a reminder. It's today. It's literally your air. It's your air. It'll be good if you do that.
I also wanted to say, learning a little bit about basic home stuff is good. You should know how to turn off a toilet. In case it is overflowing.
Yeah.
It's the little thing in the back. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to talk about with this is that there are some things that, you're just gonna learn on your own.
Yeah.
You know, that's what life is. It's a series of learning events. Bum says, toilets have an off switch? Yep. Yep. I mean, less of a off switch and more of an off knob.
Yeah, knob.
An off knob. Yeah.
Brandon's
it's a valve.
More like a valve, yeah.
It's a valve. So, knowing that is helpful in case there's ever a time where you're like, I need this toilet to stop. This toilet is currently in the on position, and I need it off right now. But also related to that, make sure you have a plunger.
Renee says, know where your breaker box is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there are some things that there's some things that you're going to learn on your own in the moment because something will happen and you'll be like, oh God, I need to figure this out. And then you'll be Googling it and you'll learn then. But some things, knowing a little bit ahead of time will make life a little better.
Don't throw water on a grease fire. What are you doing?
It's also true. I know that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
Because Bun's do you have any moving out tips? And it's but, just try and grab some of that knowledge. There's some things to get. Oh yeah, Trevbot says, take time to label your breaker box. If your breaker box is not labeled in a place that you're renting, that's bewildering to me. But it can happen, and if it doesn't happen, or if you get there and it's somehow not labeled, then labeling it would be worthwhile. But 99% of time, it's probably labeled.
Yeah.
It should be. Even when you buy a home, usually the builder has labeled it. But if not, you should label it because you will want to know what things are. At some point, something is going to need flipped. So, oh my God, Haley, that's so good. Yes, that's something we always do. Film a walkthrough. This is good advice for anyone who moves into any place they are renting. Film a walkthrough. We do that every single time we move. It is extremely thorough. We make a 20 to 30 minute video. Very good.
We also do it on Move Out.
Yes. So, you can take photos also, but I really like filming because it's real time. So, you should do it even if you don't have a vlog, but it is easier if you just vlog.
Define walkthrough fully. We literally walk through the house, turn on every sink, flush every toilet, turn on every shower, every light switch. We will walk through and I'll be like, scuff, scuff, scuff. This is broken. That light bulb is missing. Yep.
Because the goal is if there's anything
that they're going to say is your fault later and you can't prove it wasn't.
Yes. If there's any possible thing at all in the house that looks like a mistake, like something bad has happened to it, you can be liable for that if you can't prove that you didn't do it. So when you first go in, doing that is very helpful. What they'll probably also do when you sign a lease is there's usually a little thing...
A checklist.
A little checklist.
A move-in checklist.
Of, like, where you can write, like, oh, there's a, you know, one of the burners doesn't work or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, like, in my humble opinion, it is way better to have a video and be like, listen... Today is this, and this is what everything looks like. Yep. Brandon's got it right. Guilty until proven innocent when it comes to landlords. Bun Bun says, oh, Jesus, okay, I will do that. That is terrifying. I have to remember not all people are good people. Well, we're talking about landlords specifically, and like our experience with landlords has been very bad. Not great. Very no bueno. So, yeah. Landlords are not people. Landlords are not usually good people. Landlords are bad people. Landlords suck.
Brandon says, unusually bad, I would say, to be fair.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like, it can be... I think landlords especially can be the biggest wake-up call that, like, the world is an unfair place and people are bad. I think landlords is where most people learn that quickly. Because, like, they don't care... They don't care. You can get good ones. Haley's landlord is good. And I'm like...
Our Columbia apartment was just fine.
That's true. Our Columbia apartment was very good.
There was even something that was our fault. And they were like, we're going to paint it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And we're like, are you sure? Because we'll do it. And they were like,
it can
no.
happen. But I really feel strongly that at this point, I can say with some degree of certainty that that is less common than getting one that, like... doesn't care at all. So, anyway.
We still have recorded phone calls from one of our landlords because they were that bad.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to court. Like, there was a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Fun. So fun. So fun. Anyway, I don't want to scare Bun Bun. Like, this, I'm not trying to scare you, but I think... being armed with knowledge is very powerful.
Yep.
So, in actuality, things will be good. You'll have a good experience. It'll be nice to live on your own. You'll learn things as you go. But having just like a few little things that you know ahead of time is like...
Yep.
And hopefully other people can take advantage of some of this information as well. Because, like...
Thank you.
Yes, Haley says, when we say landlord, we don't mean a specific person. A company also counts. And, like, sometimes that's better and sometimes it's not. So I can't really speak definitively like, it's better or worse to have a company. We've had different companies.
And we've also had individuals.
And, like, it's up and down all the time. So, hopefully you get a really good dice roll. Hopefully you roll a nat 20 on getting a place. But we roll a lot of ones.
Bye.
You coming over?
Casadisa says, sorry, Court, could you elaborate? So, like, a few landlords ago, they didn't want to give us all of our security deposit back. And we were like, okay, but then you have to send us an itemized list for what you're repairing and how much those costs are so we know how much of the deposit you're actually taking in for what. And, like, we could have argued, like, what they did and how much they took from our security deposit, and that would have been going to court.
To make a long story short, because I don't really want to talk about that extensively, but Mal's right, they were threatening to withhold, like, the entire security deposit. And I was like... And they were threatening to withhold the entire security deposit over the...
one wall.
Yeah, there was one wall in the house.
One
wall in the house that we had put bookshelves into. And we had left... There were holes from that. But when we had reached out to them to ask about patching the holes... They were like, oh, just don't patch the holes. Or it was in the lease or something. Something that was like leave that That's right. It was in the lease because it was like, leave that because we will fill that and do whatever. And I was like, okay. So then we like, we're done. And the person comes and looks at it and is like, what on earth is this?
If we have to patch that, then we have to paint it, and then it's not going to match. And we were like, okay, but there was patches that didn't match when we moved in that they painted a totally wrong color.
And she started talking about like how much it would cost, and I was like, I was so mad. I was furious because I was like, what on earth are you talking about? And I was like, in the lease, whatever. And she's like, well, that only qualifies for like this specific thing and not this. And I was like, oh my God. So, it was going to be like the entire security deposit. And Haley's right. The way that she talked to us, first off, was like unacceptable to talk to another human being. Like, it was wild.
And she tried to guilt us over like the next tenants who were moving in. She's like, well, they can't move in now.
Haley says they acted like we destroyed the place. They did act like we destroyed the place.
And the place was cleaner than when we moved in because we had to clean it.
Yep. Yep.
And
yep. I think that's one of the most frustrating things.
We were there long enough that like any sort of painting would be normal wear and tear maintenance on a house between tenants. So like...
Yeah. When there's been multiple times when we've moved into a place, it hasn't been clean.
Yeah.
It hasn't been clean, or there's been big problems with it. So it's very frustrating when we move out and it is in better shape than when we moved in, and they're like, what's this? Yes, that's right. Haley said she said something to you about how it was one of the worst places she had ever seen. She said that to me on the phone, and I was furious. So furious. Childe says, didn't you find glass on the floor for months in that house? Yep! Yep! When we moved in, there was glass everywhere. They said they had cleaned the place, and we found glass everywhere. Not even small amounts of glass. Like someone had taken an entire glass cup and thrown it, and there was half of a glass cup. And we cleaned all that up. So to then have the audacity
to say it was the worst she had seen.
Like, you rude person. How dare you? Anyway, yeah, there was a lot of wild stuff that had happened, and we weren't sure what was going to happen because we were like, this might have to be a court thing. So, what happened then is once they like got our security deposit back to us, it ended up being like all bark, no bite.
Yeah.
Because even though this woman had an aneurysm on the phone with us about how we destroyed this place, the amount that they actually took out of our security deposit was extremely minimal. And like, it's true. Should they have taken out any of our security deposit?
No. They should not have.
But at that point, like, was the amount worth the fight? No. Especially when at some point your mental health, your mental health is worth something, and I'm like, this is not worth this. I need this to just go away. This is too much. So we kind of took a small L on that.
Yeah. But it was, like, for her, it was all bark and no bite, because, like, we were quoting the lease to her. The other thing, South Carolina tenant law. Like,
the other thing, Song of Healing is one here. This is a healing moment. The other thing is that we had problems that persisted while we lived there, and we reached out, and we had, like, some radio silence about, like, we need this repaired, and... like, sometimes there would be a response, and sometimes there would be no response. And we would reach out again, and we're like, no response. And I'm like, okay. So then we just kind of had to accept that, like, some things wouldn't be fixed. Anyway. Night Owl says, was that the place where you couldn't get the toilet fixed for 6 months? Nope. That was a different place. We've had great luck with landlords. Ooh, that's another good one. Haley says always communicate in email, text. Also, hi, Popsky. Yes. Yeah, if someone wants to talk on the phone, don't. Email or text them. Because later on, if you're like, if they're going to charge you for something when you're leaving and you're like, whoa, you told me that this, was not going to be the way it was. You need to have some sort of proof that they said a thing, right?
Yeah. And if you are going to record a conversation on a phone, you need to see what kind of law you have.
Yeah, that's another thing.
South Carolina is a one-party consent state.
I would try and avoid that, because that is a headache, and that gets into fun legal zone. But like, if you can have things written out, that's a lot better. Mm-hmm. And like, maybe you will get like a good landlord, and they'll just be good.
Alex and Haley have a great landlord.
If something is wrong, Alex can be like, "Hello, landlord," and landlord like, "I got you."
Haley says you can also announce your recording. That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, sorry. That was a very long tangent, but man, I think that was important. Panic increasing. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to. Okay, our experiences, I feel like, are generally abnormal.
Yes,
like
I agree completely.
We've had a lot of bad luck in a way that I'm like, did we do something wrong in a past life? Why is this happening to us? I think most people, like, they understand that a landlord is a bad, but not usually like this bad.
Yeah. You
will probably be okay. Yeah, Alex says, our landlord pays for our air filters. Does everyone's do that? No. That is not common at all. Not at all. They should have them replaced whenever you move in to a place, but then you will be responsible for them yourself. So, yeah.
That's true. Our first apartment was good.
It's true. Thomas says, you need content. Bad landlords are great for the algorithm. And the thing is, like, we always stay quiet about that stuff because I'm always worried that if we speak out about, whatever's going on, like, especially at the time when we live there or, like, whatever, and if I don't want to be specific because, like, that is part of the lease. A lot of the lease stuff is, like, you can't hold us to, defamation or whatever. Yeah. So it's the only time I ever talk about it is like years later, and I'm not super specific because I'm like, I still don't want to deal with this.
Alex says, I get emails periodically that are like, how's everything going over there, buddy? Need any more air filters? Just let me know if we can do anything for y'all.
Unbelievable. Imagine a world where your landlord is a good person. Incredible. Anyway, so yeah. I'm not using this stream necessarily to like talk badly about our landlords so much as I want to use it as like a warning for people
just to protect yourself.
You need to try and protect yourself as much as you can. Yeah. But again, there's good ones out there, and maybe you get a good one. It's true. Fire Goddess says, Haley and Alex's landlord is God. It's true. When Haley and Alex first moved in, they had to take a series of tests that required them to figure out what was written on a piece of paper exactly and which letters were capital and not. And then they had to listen to a landlord and the two of the landlord's friends find out which sounds they were making was the same sounds. Sorry, this is obscure because I'm referencing Moon.
Sorry, I was somewhere else. I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
I could tell because I wasn't getting any like response from you, and I was like, "Ooh, this joke just isn't going to land." All right, if Mal's not laughing, I have to move on. Hey, you wanna? Let's gonna. Let me get back to reading alerts. We got 64 months from Skit Scott. 300 bits from Radio Dread says, "Clown Roulette, let's go." 300 from Anise who says, "How many clowns? Let's count. How many have there been today?" Today is five. There's more coming. 300 from Squid just says, how many clowns can we get today? 300 from Radio Dread says, Clown Roulette again. There is an Escape from the City clown. That was because of my bit message a long time ago. So I guess that means in some respect that we have more than one Sonic clown. Or at least one.
Yeah.
At least one Sonic clown. 65 months from Marvel 410. We got 300 bits from Radio Dread says, last attempt for right now. Maybe. Clown Roulette for Sonic.
I'm really proud of you, Ember Laura. It's so hard.
Oh my god! Congrats. There's a part in Moon that I've been told is coming up, where you basically have to play Flappy Bird, and I'm not looking forward to it. So... fun.
You shouldn't be looking forward to it.
Fun. $1,600 bits from Gold Lighting. It says, also make sure you back up the recording. Oh, of the house walkthrough? Yes. That's also a good idea. Of course, that can lead into a whole thing of, like, back up everything. Because data is temporary. But that's a whole tangent I shouldn't get on. 49 months from Jared Dillon, 2710. We got 300 bits in the reload. Says, can I get some good vibes? I haven't been doing well mentally for the past few days, and I can barely tell if I'm getting better or not. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Wishing you well. We got back up your backups. Also true. Also true. At least have one backup. That's very important. That's the rule. 3 copies, 2 mediums, 1 offsite. The 3-2-1. I follow most of those rules. Some of them. Need a bit some Shiraj who says, Clown, got back to work yesterday after being on leave, and I've gotten through 500 emails, and my list is too long. Good God.
Yup.
Good God. Mao actually went through a bunch of emails yesterday.
I had like 400, and I got through them.
Good.
Sometimes I just like go into Gmail, then I'm like, Costco, delete all unread. Chewy, delete all unread.
Toadlink says, how would you offsite the backup? A box in the woods? I mean, you maybe could do that, but generally people are referring to like the cloud, like have some sort of cloud backup.
Yeah.
But another option is like if you have data backed up onto a hard drive, like get that hard drive out of your house. Like, no one likes to talk about this, but like a house can go away. There are many ways. Usually just one way.
There's a few ways.
Usually just fire. But
tornado.
Fire, tornado,
tornado
flood.
Country.
yeah, depending on where you live. So like houses.
Flood country.
I know it's a scary thing, but like houses can go away. And if they do, and you have data in them and only in them, then you can lose the data. So. But yeah, you could either have it in a different place or you could have it in a cloud or something. Houses are I mean, it's true.
Brandon said, are you going to do a magic trick and make my house disappear? Because don't. Well, we weren't considering that.
Ta-da! Ta-da! Little tiny bird. Attach a hard drive to a balloon. Send it up to the clouds.
Shift delete house.
63 months from Brandon. We got a subscription from Lufus.
Welcome.
48 months from Twilight Cat 24. Congrats on the 4. We got 300 bits from the Tuxedo Kitty. It says, my horse is having a life-saving, high-risk surgery this morning. Please send my boy all the good vibes. I'm so worried about him. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. I mean, life-saving surgery, I'm glad that there is such a thing that is happening, but like high risk is extremely anxiety-inducing. Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely good vibes. Sending your horse all the best. Hope everything goes well. We got 300 bits from Swishy Head. Says, hi from a snow day. Sorry, it's just hard to... Like, I get it. There's places that
still have
the snow, but it's like going up to like 70 degrees. I was in too much pain to go into work yesterday. Went in today, and they didn't actually need me. But they want me to apply for a more permanent position there. Good vibes to all.
Good luck with that.
I hate that you got like a little jerked around there from going in and like not being needed, but getting a more permanent position is good.
Yeah.
So like it's a bit of a silver lining there. So good vibes. I hope that works out. This is like the second time this month Amazing Grace has come on. There are thousands of songs. the flute sound, like it's not that song is like badly done, but that flute sound just barely sounds like the bad Titanic flute.
The penny whistle?
Where someone's playing My Heart Will Go On, but very badly. So when I hear that rendition of Amazing Grace, I immediately just think of like...
It says you are dead on.
Like... That's why it sticks out, is like I hear it and I'm like... That is not the direction of flute.
Well, that's the direction the penny whistle that's played with.
You know what it is? It's that I'm saying the word flute and my brain is definitely thinking recorder. That's why I'm using the
like
word flute.
Is.
Yes, I knew someone in high school. Honestly, I thought that was a song I was playing. See, now I want to hear a very bad recorder rendition of Amazing Grace. I was like, for a brief moment in time, I was like, where's my recorder? I'll go get my recorder and play it right now.
Not here. Do you have a recorder at your parents'?
The recorder I had when they gave everyone a recorder in like whatever year, like 5th grade or whatever, I have mine. It is at my parents' house. I probably need to like rinse it under a sink.
Did you have a plastic one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For some reason, someone in my life at the time had a really, really nice recorder. So I had a really nice recorder for that year.
Renee said, I have 2 children. There's like 6 recorders in the house. Send help. Yeah, I just got the one. Although it's surprising I still have that one. Because why? I think there's a mental thing maybe in our home of like you can't get rid of a musical instrument.
Oh, your family always was into music, like
you can't get rid of a musical instrument. You keep it forever, no matter what. Because we have a lot of different musical instruments. We got 300 bits from Jay Linebeck, who says, so I've been trying to do more cooking lately. I recently made spaghetti seafood aglio olio with prawns. Added a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and it really helped.
That sounds delicious.
It does sound good. Just in general, I like Worcestershire sauce.
I've been in the mood to make that yakisoba lately.
What yakisoba?
The yakisoba I make. With the pork belly?
Oh! Sorry, my brain had to, like...
Think of what yakisoba
process
was.
What yakisoba was, and then think about Mao's yakisoba.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very good. Josh had yakisoba
last night.
Mm-hmm. Because Tom's in town. You know that famously because my heart's still pounding from it. Mm-hmm. We went out to a place last night and
he got yakisoba.
Yeah, and Josh had yakisoba. And it looked very good.
I was talking to Vagabond on Saturday, and Vagabond was like, what's the dish, like if you're gonna make for someone that's, like, the best dish? And I was like, yakisoba.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Out of everything? I think it's, probably, like, the best. It's not, like, dinner party impressive, but it's probably the tastiest dish I make.
I definitely think that's subjective. It's not that the yakisoba's not good. It's great.
No,
it's
it says that pork
good.
Shoulder, though.
The yakisoba's great, but I am such a fan of chicken pesto Florentine.
I know you are.
Like, oh my god, that's so good. Both are very good. Both are very good. We got 300 bits from Siraj, who says, this is very specific as I'm allergic to dust, so masks when for moving things. That's a good tip. And honestly, depending on, like, how, like, the stuff that you're moving or where you're moving to, you may need a mask for kicking up dust anyway. Like, the thing is, you can be allergic to dust, but also you can just be, like, a lot of people are just sensitive to dust, right? So if you're moving stuff, it's going to, like, kick up junk. Mm-hmm. And that can just be kind of a bad in general. Quirky Kirk says, don't judge yourself because of how dirty things are under your furniture. It's natural. It just gets dirty under there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't clean under, like, certain things.
Bookshelves.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not going to get super dirty under bookshelves,
No.
but, like, those pieces of furniture, like, if you have a, like a dresser or a armoire or something where, like, it comes up off of the ground by, like, an inch. Because, like, when I was growing up, I had some of that sort of furniture. Like, that's going to be gross. It just is. Under the oven. Yeah. Haley says, just in general, don't judge yourself for being dirty. It's also reasonable.
Chelsea says, I looked behind my couch the other day and I had a second Astro with the amount of fur I found.
The fur knows where to hide.
It sure does.
Like, we do a pretty good job, I think, of, like, keeping the house, like, relatively clean. But every once in a while, you'll, like, discover a location.
Where the fur has gone.
Because, like, we have a tiny vacuum. That's another thing that I think is super, super valuable, is having, like, a little tiny, like, hand vac.
Vacuum.
I love having a hand vac. That's probably one of the best purchases we've ever made. Anyway, because of that, like, I try to keep, like, most of the cat hair under control. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, I'll stumble across, like, a hair zone.
I do wish we had one of the, like, a stick vacuum. So you don't have to bend over. Because ours is this big, and you are a tall man.
It
so,
is
like,
true.
when you use it, you're, like, hunched over. So,
Yeah.
like, if we had a stick vacuum, you could stand up and do the same thing.
Yeah, that is the one downside, is that, like, when I use it, I am actively dying. Like, the life force is leaving my body every time.
You're, like, stooped over, and you're, like, trying to, like, walk around and get everything.
The hand vac battery lasts, like, 8 minutes, which is fine. It doesn't need to last any longer than that. But, like, when I'm done, like, I've been, like, hunched over for, like, 8 straight minutes, and then I put it back on its charger, and then I go, oh!
And you pop, like, a glow stick.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. You say it pop like a glow stick?
Yeah, you have to break the glow sticks so they glow.
I am still doing physical therapy, and it helps a lot. Like, I'm probably more, like, limber and have, like, more muscles relaxed and stuff than I have in maybe any other part of my life. But the real reason is that I don't want to do a hurt. We got 300 bits from Shy, who says, as someone who has done HVAC for a living, if you live with pets, change filters every 3 to 4 months. Otherwise, you can do 5 to 6 months. It's all about how much dust and hair is being produced and shed in the house. That's good advice.
Kepler, I don't think sheds a ton. He's a very short hair cat.
He's a short hair cat.
And he's very sleek. He's not very fluffy.
Yeah. So, that's good advice. So if you live with pets, 3 to 4. Otherwise, you can get away with 5 to 6. But change them. Mm-hmm. You do want to change them. It'll make a difference. We got 24 months from Vinny Elise. That's a 2, and then keep clapping because we got 12 months from Rad Is Not Dead. That's a 1. Congrats to both of you. 65 months at Tier 2. Gold Toast for Drek. 900. Drek, thank you. And 300 bits from Twilight Cat says, spreading good vibes this morning. After several months of chatting in Minecraft, I finally got to meet my crush in person, and now we are dating.
Aww.
Still feeling clownish euphoria. That's awesome. I love that. I love the sweet little stories. I chatted with my crush for a long time, and then we started dating, and then we got married. That's you. Minecraft was also involved, actually. There was some Minecraft vaguely in there. Mm-hmm. It was out when we were... When did Minecraft came out while we were dating? Yes. Minecraft came out while we were dating. That's right. Reader just says, if you've been married twice, just the once. Just the one time. We got 500 bits and Marisa says, so I got a new job at the retail store. Don't worry, I work at the head office of the retail store as a new IT staff. So here are some of my bits to celebrate. Wish me luck.
Congrats on the new job.
Yeah, thank you for the bits, but also congrats. I hope that the new job is good. We also got 48 months from VCR-san. Congrats on the 4. A marriage so nice, you did it twice.
I don't want to pay for another wedding.
There's a lot of people that I don't know if it's like if it's like a regional thing, cultural thing, but like and I don't know like what other like cultures or whatever do it, but they get what's it called? Renewing vows. Or second vows. Some people do.
It depends, I think, on like sometimes people go through like a hardship and then they're like, let's renew our vows.
Yes.
And some people do that to hopefully fix a thing.
Yeah, it can either be a way of, like you said, like there's a hardship that is either overcome or not overcome, and they just think that that'll fix it. Or it can be used kind of as like a anniversary type celebration.
Yeah, sometimes people do
because
that.
I've seen people renew their vows at like 20 or 25 years or something, and it's not necessarily that there's like problems in the marriage, it's just like we're still doing it type thing. Still do it. Well, how many long? This will be...
How many long?
We'll be married 13 years in August. Still doing it. 300 bits from Cosmic Sorrel, who says, I'm sorry, I just want to see if yakisoba triggers the appropriate alert. When are we going to get yakisoba as an alert trigger? When's that coming? We got 300 bits from Satsy. It says, the cats broke in, I can't leave. Well, easily, anyway, but technically it's fine. I need to recoup some energy anyway from packing. Send help! Good vibes. Good vibes. I can't send, like, physical help, but I can send, like, good vibes. We also had 35 months from DH Dante. Thank you. Appreciate it. Man. I just looked and I was like, there's some breakfast streams where like I look at the clock and I'm like, wait, it's been an hour?
Yeah.
We spoke a lot about getting your first place.
Yeah.
But also it's very helpful information. And a lot of what we talked about is helpful, not even if it's your first place, but even if you're just like, renting or whatever. You had a lot of passion. There's been a lot of things. There's been a lot of things that we have experienced in our renting career, our renting life. I should press this button. Our renting life that, like, I just want to help other people and spare them. Knowledge should be shared as much as possible so you can prevent any issues or hardships. But I sincerely hope that people don't have as difficult a time with their landlords as we have. And also, that being said, I know that, we're not like the worst of it. There's people that have had far worse experiences than us.
Yeah.
And like my heart goes out to them.
We have not needed to do anything legal with a lawyer against a landlord.
Yeah.
So.
Very thankfully, we've never had to do that. I mean, maybe we should have at some point, but...
I knocked on the table with my foot.
Why did you do that?
Because we haven't...
Oh, sorry. What I noticed is the cat who is on my lap asleep, like, lifted his head quickly, and then I looked and I was like, what? I thought you were trying to get a bug.
No. You're
doing knock on wood. Yeah, that hasn't happened. It is one of those things that, like, the biggest push for me, like, speaking for myself, the biggest push for me wanting to, like, own a place has, I think, everything to do with the fact that I don't want a person looming. Like, having the idea of, like, a landlord that can, like, kick you out at any time, which has literally happened to us twice. Like, that is so stressful. that is the thing that makes me want to own a home. Some people want to own a home for very different reasons. For me, I think it's that, because, you know, having everything...
Jay Lineback.
having everything set up in here and knowing how much of a pain it is to move is such a burden. The idea of like, oh, well, what if you're told to move? Like, please don't. Oh my God. Don't. Do not. It's like that I think is like the most anxiety-inducing, triggering thing that can be done to me, I think, is if we got a call from the landlord and he's like, I need you to move out.
Well, in our current situation, they can't do anything for a year.
Correct.
So
that's why, I mean, that's after our last experience, that's why I wanted a 2-year lease. I was like, no, two. Give us 2. Worked out better. Anyway, we got 500 bits from Vinny Elise, who says, needing good vibes for my wife. She just started her final semester for nursing school and has finished clinical day 1 of 10, and then there's shadow days and more. Good vibes. Good vibes. Final semester. I mean, final semester means that, you know, she's come a long way. So there's already been so much work put in. I sincerely wish her well. I hope all of that, all of what is required goes very well. It's also good, you know, learning experience. Like doing shadow days is like a good way to learn everything. So good vibes. Okay, I guess it's time. It's time. Things happening.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so no more streams today. Tomorrow night, we're still planning on doing Zelda. That hasn't changed. So tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m.-ish, we continue into Zelda. It might be a bit of a shorter stream. That's completely reasonable. Like, we have people in town. We will have people in town because tomorrow, Tom is still here, but also Will is going to be here. Will has plans tomorrow evening, so it's not that Zelda's interfering with his plans. Yeah. But like will be here as well. So like we'll have 2 different people in town. So it'll probably be maybe a bit of a shorter stream. That's the streams.
That's the streams.
Oh. Yes, Sweeper says Christmas vlog soon. The Christmas vlog will be out immediately after breakfast stream. I can't release it right this second.
Like sometimes you do.
Because a lot of times I'm just like, watch this, beep. I can't do that in this specific instance. I cannot tell you why, but you will figure it out when the vlog comes out. You'll be like, oh, okay, that's why he needed like a few extra minutes. So stay tuned to the vlog channel, and I will have the vlog out in like give me like 10 minutes. Shane says still uploading? No, it's set. It'll make sense. I have to do another thing before I release the vlog. So like once I do this thing, the vlog can come out. And the vlog relies on this thing being done. Some of you might like put some of that together and be like, okay. So go to the vlog channel in the next like
10 minutes.
10-ish minutes. Like the next 10-ish minutes. Something like that. We also had 30 months from Zim, Eat Skurs Waffles. Thanks. And with that, that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. I sincerely hope that you have as good of a Thursday as you can have. And we will see you tomorrow night.
For Zelda.
7:30 p.m. I know what time we stream.
What time do we stream?
7:30 p.m. Eastern for the continuation of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Very Long Game.